This podcast explores the paradox of AI as both a source of wealth and a hidden threat to it. It examines how AI-driven opportunities, faster trading, scalable businesses, automated productivity can dazzle like a gold rush, yet also quietly erode human value, amplify risks, and consume our most precious resource, attention. At its heart, the discussion reveals that AI magnifies who we already are, raising a deeper question. Are we truly steering this force, or is it steering us?
Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we try to cut through the noise and get straight to the insights that, well, that genuinely matter. Today, we're diving headfirst into a question that, if you're anything like me, has probably been sort of quietly, persistently gnawing at you in the back of your mind. It's a sharp question. Almost unignorable, really, and it reaches deep into the core of our financial futures, our personal lives, too. Will AI help you make money? Or will it quietly, maybe imperceptibly, make you lose it?
Yeah, that's more than just a question, isn't it? It's really a crucial inquiry into the very fabric of this reality that's emerging all around us. You know, for too long, I think we've seen AI as just another tool, another gadget in our ever-expanding tech toolkit. But that view, that understanding, it's becoming outdated. Fast. AI has fundamentally shifted its role. It's now an actor. A force, a current, you could say, in the truest sense.
A current. I like that. Like something pulling you along whether you want it to or not.
Exactly. And as we've seen all through history, these powerful currents, they don't exactly ask for your permission before they start pulling you in a new direction. Sometimes with, well, immense power. This isn't just about adopting a new app or a smarter device anymore. It's really about navigating a completely new economic landscape, a new personal landscape too, that's being sculpted, reshaped by artificial intelligence, often in ways we're only just beginning to wrap our heads around.
Absolutely. The stakes feel incredibly high and the implications are just profound. So our mission, our goal in this deep dive today is to really embark on a comprehensive, maybe unflinching exploration of AI's dual edge. It's two sides. We're going to try and push past those surface level stories, you know, the breathless hype on one side and the sort of paralyzing fear on the other. We want to really examine how AI promises this era of unprecedented abundance, how it creates immense value, yes, definitely, but also how it often silently, subtly erodes entire professions, how it multiplies our leverage, yes, but also, crucially, our risks, and even how it's fundamentally redefining the very currency of our attention, which is a huge one.
A massive one. It's a complex picture.
It really is. So our journey today will take us from that glittering, almost irresistible promise of AI all the way to its hidden, often overlooked costs. We'll draw some fascinating parallels from history, I think, to help illuminate where we are right now. And ultimately, hopefully, we'll uncover that indispensable, enduring human premium, that thing that still remains uniquely ours. Our goal isn't just to pile on more information, because there's tons of that out there. It's to offer clarity, maybe some actionable insights, help you discern genuine opportunity from some very real threats, without getting, overwhelmed or lost in what can feel like an ocean of noise.
Think of us as guides, maybe, through this complex terrain, helping find the truly valuable stuff.
It's exactly. Finding the valuable content and insights. Okay.
Let's dive in.
Hashtag I. Mirage of wealth. First up, let's unpack that initial, almost intoxicating narrative that's captured so much of our collective imagination. The irresistible allure of the AI gold rush. I mean, everywhere you look, headlines are practically screaming about fortunes being made, right?
Yeah.
We see investors writing AI-driven stocks to just absolutely dizzying heights, creating wealth at a pace that feels almost unreal.
Unprecedented, yeah. It fuels this whole narrative.
And then you've got the countless small entrepreneurs, the independent creators, suddenly flooding platforms with content. Think, thousands of ebooks appearing overnight, endless streams of videos, super personalized chatbots for niche markets, all produced and scaled in days, literally days, not months or years, by what you can only call AI's invisible labor. It's astonishing.
It truly is a new era of rapid creation. And then, of course, you have the large corporations. They're boasting about replacing, well, let's be frank, costly workers with incredibly efficient algorithms, touting these huge efficiency gains that translate directly into, fatter bottom lines. Please, shareholders.
It's almost as if AI is whispering directly into our ears, isn't it? Saying, look, I can do in seconds what you once spent years perfecting. I am leverage incarnate. I am acceleration itself.
Yeah.
The seduction is just undeniable. It speaks directly to that desire for speed, for scale, for effortless wealth.
It's a very potent message, absolutely. And it taps into a really deep human desire for efficiency, for advantage. To make this even more concrete, maybe we should delve into that example you mentioned, the AI-empowered trader.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so imagine a highly skilled individual in the financial markets. Someone who lives and breathes this stuff, right? Spends countless hours sifting through data and news reports. Now, this trader integrates a sophisticated AI model, one specifically trained to read market sentiment. And we're not just talking about basic keyword spotting here. This is deep learning algorithms capable of understanding nuance, irony, even subtle shifts in tone across just vast unstructured data sets.
Stuff a human could never process that quickly.
Exactly. In mere minutes, this AI can digest thousands of news articles, sift through countless tweets, social media posts, analyze financial reports, process intricate signals that are just totally beyond human capacity in that time frame. The AI spots emerging trends, flags potential risks, maybe even predicts short-term movements with remarkable accuracy. So the immediate perceived benefit is undeniable. Trades that consistently outpace rivals.
Yeah.
Wealth that appears to multiply at the speed of code.
It feels like the ultimate cheat code, an unbeatable advantage.
It does. A true competitive edge in a hyper-competitive field, making fortunes for those who adopt it first. It's a really compelling vision of what AI promises.
Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting, I think. Where that shimmering promise starts to show its first cracks. We've seen this incredible potential, right? This almost magical ability to generate output, identify opportunities. But just pause for a second. Doesn't every mirage shimmer most beautifully right before it vanishes or reveals itself to be, well, something far less substantial?
That's the turning point.
This is precisely where the paradox kicks in. When abundance of a specific type becomes dilution, the fundamental question we absolutely have to ask ourselves is this. When everyone in the race starts wielding the exact same powerful weapon, does it still give you a decisive edge, or does it just, erase it for everyone?
That is the critical question,
Yeah.
the turning point, and it's what we might call the erasure of edge. Let's go back to that trader we just discussed. What happens when there are competitors who are equally smart, equally keen on getting any advantage? What happens when they adopt the same or very similar sophisticated algorithms?
Right. Everyone gets the same tool eventually.
Pretty quickly, usually. Suddenly, those individual advantages, which seem so powerful at first, they just start canceling each other out. This isn't just theory. We've seen patterns like this again and again with different forms of arbitrage over the years. When valuable information or a superior processing method becomes widely available, the market, well, it adapts. It reprices it almost instantly. That initial algorithmic edge, poof, gone.
So the market doesn't get easier, it gets harder.
Often, yeah. Instead of becoming more predictable or less volatile, it frequently becomes more unpredictable, hyper-efficient in a way that squeezes out those easy gains. It becomes a true zero-sum game, or close to it. That initial edge just dissipates. Or worse, it can lead to increased systemic risk if suddenly everyone is reacting identically to the same signals at the same microsecond.
Wow. So the gold rush dissolves into something else entirely.
A new baseline, really, where yesterday's amazing advantage is just today's basic requirement to even play the game.
And it's not just high finance, is it? You mentioned the entrepreneurs.
No, absolutely not. Think about that entrepreneur who built their little digital empire using AI-generated content. They might have enjoyed immense success initially, fantastic growth. But pretty soon they find themselves facing an ocean, a literal flood of identical or near identical AI-generated products. Books, articles, designs, whatever it is, all competing for the same limited pool of human attention.
Right. When unique value becomes ubiquitous, what happens? When the cost of making something drops to near zero?
Well, that initial gold rush for those creators often dissolves. Not just into a landfill of sameness, as you put it earlier, but into a kind of wasteland of irrelevance. The sheer volume makes it incredibly difficult for anything to stand out. Ironically, it forces creators to spend even more on marketing, on discoverability, just to get noticed, which eats into their margins and kind of negates the initial cost-saving promise of the AI.
So the key takeaway here, this first big paradox, is that AI creates wealth, yes, but in creating too much of certain kinds of output, it almost inadvertently dilutes its own value. Is that fair?
I think that's exactly right. And it raises a crucial, almost existential question for you, our listener. Whether you're learning, creating, investing, just trying to navigate this rapidly changing world, how should you approach a landscape where the very tools that give you a huge advantage today might become universally adopted, totally commonplace, and thus profoundly devalued tomorrow? Maybe even just adding to the noise.
What truly differentiates you? What makes your contribution unique and valuable when AI can churn out endless stuff with minimal effort and cost?
Exactly. It forces us to think beyond just churning out more stuff. We have to think about something more enduring, something different. #2, the silent erosion.
Okay, so let's shift our focus a bit. Away from the kind of dramatic gold rush idea towards something maybe less spectacular, but equally, maybe even more impactful. This idea of the silent erosion of value. Like you said earlier, like sand slipping through your fingers. You don't notice it moment to moment, but suddenly a big chunk is gone. This kind of erosion, it doesn't announce itself with, flashing lights or big headlines. It's subtle, an almost imperceptible subtraction that can have these profound long-term consequences for individuals, for whole professions, even industries.
Precisely. It's not about a sudden crash or a factory shutting down overnight usually. Instead, it's this creeping devaluation of human labor, human expertise, a gradual hollowing out of what once made a particular skill truly indispensable and valuable.
Yeah.
Let's look at some examples, maybe from skilled professions. Take the professional translator.
Okay.
Historically, they were incredibly valued, right? For their nuanced understanding of language, cultural context, the subtle art of conveying meaning beyond just literal words. Now, they increasingly see their rates halved. Or worse, when clients discover that, hey, these readily available AI translation tools can give them good enough output for a fraction of the cost, often instantly.
That threshold of good enough keeps shifting downwards.
It does. And the demand for that human-level perfection becomes a luxury many clients just aren't willing or don't feel they need to pay for anymore.
And it's not just translators, is it? I'm thinking copywriters.
Copywriters, absolutely. They might initially feel a productivity boost, right? Using AI tools to brainstorm, draft outlines, maybe even generate whole paragraphs. Helps get past writer's block. But then they start noticing their long-term contracts are shrinking, maybe becoming just project-based, or even disappearing entirely, as clients realize they can turn to AI platforms for generating marketing copy, social media posts, website text.
So the human role shifts to editing the AI, maybe, or high-level strategy.
Increasingly, yes. The core creation gets automated or semi-automated. The human touch is still valued, sometimes, but it's often relegated to polishing the AI's output or providing that strategic oversight rather than the fundamental act of writing from scratch. And maybe the starkest example, imagine a really dedicated teacher, someone who pours hours of expertise, passion into creating compelling video lessons.
Right, really high-quality stuff.
Exactly. And then later, they experience the chilling reality of seeing their likeness, their voice, maybe even their teaching style, repurposed by an AI avatar. A digital twin, an avatar that can teach 24/7 without sleep, without a salary, potentially reaching vast audiences, but without any ongoing compensation or creative control for the original human educator.
Wow. That's not science fiction anymore, is it?
No, it's already happening.
Yeah.
And it fundamentally messes with ideas of intellectual property, individual agency, the value expertise.
So what's really unsettling here, listening to this, is that each case isn't like a dramatic theft. It's these quiet subtractions, as you said.
Exactly. It's the hollowing of uniqueness. Not with a bang, but inch by imperceptible inch. Until the perceived value of that human craft, that expertise, is shaved down, down, down. Ultimately, pricing professional labor closer and closer to zero for tasks that AI can approximate. And the really deceptive nature of this whole process is how insidious it is, because it often feels like an opportunity at first.
Right. Faster productivity, more output, less drudgery. Who wouldn't want that? These tools seem amazing.
Of course. They offer immense convenience. But beneath that shiny surface, this significant hidden cost is accumulating over time. It's the gradual loss of bargaining power, the slow erosion of economic leverage, the hollowing out of what once made a human unique, indispensable, and therefore economically valuable in the marketplace. It really forces you to ask a very pointed, maybe uncomfortable question.
Go on.
When AI saves you time,
Yeah.
whose time is really being saved, is it mostly yours, freeing you up for more meaningful work?
Right.
Or is it, in a deeper sense, the employer's time? The employer who no longer needs to pay for your time at all, or at least not at the same premium.
Oof, that's a crucial distinction. And thinking about this, It's not like this is entirely new for us as a species, is it? History seems to echo these patterns.
Absolutely. There are powerful, sometimes stark echoes throughout history. Think back to the mechanical loom, Industrial Revolution. It made textiles incredibly abundant, affordable, transformed economies, access to goods, huge benefits.
But
It made master weavers whose intricate craft was once highly prized, passed down through generations, largely redundant. Their unique, hard-won skill set was effectively commodified, automated. Or think about the printing press, another revolutionary technology, democratized knowledge on an unprecedented scale, fostered literacy, intellectual growth. Amazing.
heroes leap forward.
Yet it effectively ended the centuries-old livelihood of scribes, those people who meticulously copied text by hand, their beautiful calligraphy, their skill, replaced by movable type.
So there's a pattern here. Progress, but also displacement.
It's a recurring pattern in pretty much every major technological revolution. Each one promises immense wealth, progress, efficiency, yet it invariably extracts a significant toll. And often, that toll falls disproportionately on those least prepared to bear it, those whose specific skills suddenly become obsolete. The disruption can be profound, it creates new industries, new opportunities, absolutely, but it also leaves behind significant human cost.
And the key lesson from history isn't just change happens.
No, I think it's that the benefits and the costs of that change are rarely, if ever, evenly distributed.
Which brings us to a pretty stark warning then. One we need to really acknowledge with our eyes wide open. AI doesn't only create millionaires and billionaires, despite what the headlines might suggest, it also manufactures redundancy, potentially on a scale we haven't seen before.
It makes professions porous.
Boris, explain that.
Well, the once clear boundaries around what a human does and what a machine can do, they become increasingly blurred. Less like a solid wall. More like a sieve, maybe. Allowing value, economic value, to leak out. It's almost like AI systematically extracts the very floorboards beneath your feet, gradually removing the foundation of your professional stability, all while distracting you with the dazzling shine of possibility, the promise of new tools, new efficiencies right in front of you.
That's a powerful image, extracting the floorboards while you're admiring the new chandelier.
Something like that, yes. It's a very real, very present challenge that we have to confront head on. So for you listening, how do you actively identify those floorboards beneath your own career, your industry? What proactive steps can you realistically take to prepare for this silent erosion, to reinforce your own professional foundation rather than being caught completely unaware when the ground has already shifted?
It requires a deliberate, almost strategic kind of self-assessment, doesn't it? And a real willingness to evolve, maybe even reinvent.
I think it does. Passivity seems like the riskiest option.
Yeah.
Hashtag #3, the edge that cuts both ways.
Okay. That brings us to another critical aspect of AI's power.
Yeah.
And this one speaks directly to our innate human drive for achievement, for control. Because even after hearing about the silent erosion, that paradox of dilution, you might still feel that pull, right? That little voice whispering, okay, but if I'm clever enough, if I'm fast enough, agile enough, I can ride this wave.
The desire to master it.
Yeah. You might think, well, maybe the real losers are just those clinging to the old ways. While I, armed with vision, discernment, and these powerful AI tools, I can capture AI's bounty before it slips away. And let's be really clear, that instinct, it's not entirely wrong. AI is leverage. It is a force multiplier like few things we've ever seen before.
Huge leverage.
But, and this is the crucial pivot, the really critical insight we need to grasp, leverage, throughout all of human history, has always multiplied both gains and losses. It's a power without forgiveness. It's indifferent to human error. And it's capable of absolutely devastating amplification when things go wrong.
It's an incredibly potent force, yes. And its speed just compounds everything, which makes it both exhilarating and, frankly, terrifying. Let's think about how it can compound both fortune and error, often like in the blink of an eye. Take a high-stakes hedge fund, for example.
Okay.
They might automate their entire research pipeline. Macroeconomic data, granular sentiment indicators, everything fed into sophisticated AI models. This allows them to process just unbelievable amounts of data, identify trading opportunities far more quickly across more markets than human analysts ever could dream of. So maybe in one quarter, their profits literally triple. A staggering return. Seems to perfectly prove the AI's incredible, almost infallible power.
Right. Champagne corks popping. We crack the code.
Yes, exactly. The team celebrates. They believe they've found the holy grail of market success. But then, in the very next quarter, Maybe a subtle flaw emerges in the algorithm, perhaps an inherent bias in its training data that wasn't properly scrubbed. Or an unforeseen black swan event, a market condition it just wasn't designed to handle.
Something outside its training parameters.
Precisely. And that flaw, amplified by the leverage and the speed, magnifies losses to catastrophic levels, even existential levels for the fund. The very speed that compounded their fortune now compounds their error with just devastating efficiency. A small miscalculation, blown up by the sheer volume and velocity of AI-driven trades, can wipe out years of gains in moments, maybe hours.
Wow. It really highlights that speed compounds fortune, yes, but it also compounds error with this brutal, unforgiving logic.
Brutal is the right word. And this isn't just about vast sums of money in finance. The same principle applies to things like reputation, trust, which are often far, far harder to rebuild than capital.
Good point. How so?
Well, think about a startup founder. Full of ambition, right? They decide to automate their customer engagement, AI chatbots, hyper-personalized marketing campaigns, the works. Initially, they probably see a huge surge in growth. Customer queries handled instantly, 247, support cost plummet. It looks like efficient, modern service.
Metrics look amazing. Growth curve is steep.
Exactly. Things seem to be going incredibly well. Investors are happy. But then, a single AI misstep happens. Maybe a tone-deaf response generated by the chatbot to a sensitive customer complaint. Maybe a culturally insensitive interaction because the AI lacks nuanced understanding. Or a biased recommendation that alienates a whole demographic.
And in today's world, that stuff spreads fast.
Instantly. In the age of social media, just one significant AI misstep can spawn a public backlash that spirals completely out of control. A reputation, which maybe they painstakingly built over months or years through real human interaction and careful beaming, it can just collapse overnight, leaving the startup's entire future in jeopardy.
It really drives home that point, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Leverage offers incredible power, but it is absolutely power without forgiveness.
Exactly. It demands an incredibly high degree of vigilance, constant oversight, a really deep understanding of its limitations, its potential failure modes, not just its capabilities. Assuming it will just work is dangerous.
This dual nature, immense power for creation, but also destruction, this amplification, it reminds me of something.
What's that?
The myth of Prometheus.
Ah, yes. Prometheus and fire. Good one.
He defied the gods, right? Gifted fire to humankind, a revolutionary act. And fire was transformative. Cooked food, made it safer, more nutritious, forged tools, accelerating progress, warmed homes, warded off predators. It drove incredible advancements, created new forms of wealth for early humans.
A foundational technology.
Absolutely. But fire also burned villages, consumed forests, destroyed everything in its path if it got uncontrolled.
It was a force that demanded immense respect, understanding, incredibly careful handling.
And you're saying AI is like that fire?
I think AI, too, is fire. Its gift is profoundly double-edged. It offers unparalleled potential, yes, but it demands not just gratitude for what it can do, but constant, unwavering vigilance, discernment, and a strong ethical framework for its use. We have to manage it carefully.
That's a really powerful and, I think, fitting analogy. It brings us to a critical question for you listening right now. One to consider deeply. Are you wielding fire? Are you consciously, deliberately controlling this powerful tool? Or is fire, through its inherent risks, its subtle biases, its potential for amplifying your errors, is fire actually wielding you, dictating your trajectory, subtly shaping your outcomes without you fully realizing it?
It's a call for rigorous self-assessment, not just about your technical skill with AI tools, but about your fundamental understanding and control over the forces you're engaging with. Are you the master, or is it mastering you? #tag Millier of the day.
Okay, let's shift gears again slightly and expand our definition of wealth, because money, dollars and cents, it's not the only currency that matters, maybe not even the most valuable one in this new era we're entering.
That's a crucial point.
In truth, the deeper game AI seems to be playing the one that often goes unnoticed because it doesn't involve explicit financial transactions, is with our attention. This is a vast hidden economy that is profoundly shaping our lives, our focus, and ultimately our choices day in and day out.
It's absolutely true. And it's arguably one of the most significant, maybe insidious shifts AI has brought about. Just think for a moment about recommendation algorithms. They're completely ubiquitous now, right? In almost every digital service we use. These are the invisible conductors of our online habits, subtly guiding us from one video to the next, one article to another, one social media post scrolling into countless others.
They don't ask for money directly.
No, they don't explicitly ask for coins from your pocket when they suggest the next thing for you to look at or listen to. Instead, what they do very subtly, very efficiently, is they siphon hours from your life. Minutes that turn into hours, hours that turn into days, weeks, even years over a lifetime.
And these algorithms are getting scary good at it.
Incredibly sophisticated. They leverage collaborative filtering, content-based filtering, deep learning models, all designed to predict what will hold your gaze the longest, what will trigger the highest engagement, keep you on the platform. And those accumulated hours, that precious finite attention, it's then converted into advertising revenue, into influence, into data for product development, and ultimately into profit.
For someone else.
Exactly. For someone else, you, the user, are essentially paying with your most valuable, utterly non-renewable resource, your time and your focus.
And what's really treacherous about this, what makes it so hard to resist, maybe even hard to account for, is that the question, what is my time worth, never feels urgent in the moment, does it?
Not at all. It feels trivial.
We tell ourselves, oh, just 5 more minutes scrolling, just one more video, just one more click. I'm just unwinding, relaxing. It seems harmless. A small justifiable indulgence after a long day. We rationalize it. It's just downtime. Yet those seemingly insignificant minutes, those tiny decisions we make hundreds of times a day, they accumulate into years of consumed attention. And the true wealth, the only wealth you absolutely cannot regenerate, the ultimate finite resource, is being stolen, or maybe just redirected in silence.
It means that even if AI never directly takes $1 from your bank account in a visible way, it might already be draining something far more costly, the span of your attention, the very fabric of your focus, which is, when you think about it, the foundational resource from which all other forms of wealth, financial, creative, relational, personal fulfillment, are ultimately built.
It's a subtle but incredibly profound form of wealth extraction.
It really is. Consider that entrepreneur again, the one who, with the best intentions, commits to staying right on the cutting edge of AI. Spends his waking hours fueled by caffeine and ambition, endlessly researching, experimenting with the latest tools, exploring every new iteration, every promising platform, reading every article. He genuinely believes he's gaining an edge, staying informed, being productive. Yet, maybe he never quite moves beyond that stage of constant experimentation and consumption. He never truly builds anything tangible, foundational, or uniquely his own using those tools.
So, has he gained? Or has he just been consumed?
Exactly. Has he truly gained an advantage? Or has he effectively been harvested by the very systems he thought would empower him? His time, his focus, his potential for creating real, unique value, all consumed perhaps, without a tangible, self-directed return. His attention became the product, captured by the endless stream of potential.
That's a really profound realization, because we tend, as a society, maybe instinctively, to measure profit and loss in dollars, pounds, euros, right? It's the standard metric.
It is.
But perhaps, in this new hidden economy, we should start measuring it in hours, in focused hours. Which leads us to a stark, powerful, maybe uncomfortable conclusion. A real aha moment for many people, I think.
Go on.
For if AI consumes your time, your focus, your creative energy while primarily making money for others, then you are not the customer, you are the product.
Oof. Yeah. It's a fundamental, almost jarring shift in perspective, isn't it?
Yeah.
It totally reorients how we understand our digital interactions.
It really should. And this realization hopefully prompts you, listening now, to maybe rigorously audit your own digital consumption. Who truly benefits from the hours you spend interacting with these AI-driven platforms and content streams? And how can you actively reclaim your attention as the valuable, non-renewable resource it is, rather than just allowing it to be quietly, systematically siphoned away for someone else's gain?
It's a call to really reevaluate what true wealth means to you. Is it just money? Or is it also time, focus, agency? Hashtag V3.
Okay, so after all these warnings, these complex insights into dilution, erosion, leverage risks, the hidden economy of attention, let's pivot. Let's pivot towards a message of, I think, profound hope and empowerment. Because it's not all doom and gloom.
Absolutely not.
Because in every age of automation, looking back through human history, something intrinsically human has remained irreducible, something that cannot be fully replicated or replaced by machines. This is what we're calling the human premium.
The human premium, I like that term.
Think back to those historical parallels we mentioned, the mechanical loom, for instance. It didn't extinguish fashion, did it?
No, it democratized it, made clothing accessible, allowed fashion to evolve into new forms of expression.
Right. And the printing press didn't end storytelling.
Quite the contrary. It gave storytelling a vastly wider audience than ever before, fostered new literary forms, a broader exchange of ideas, amplified it.
And the camera didn't abolish painting.
No, it liberated painting, freed it from the need for just literal representation, pushed artists to explore abstraction, emotion, conceptual art, entirely new realms.
So the consistent pattern seems to be this. Each new technology that threatened to erase us also, paradoxically, revealed and maybe even amplified what only we could still do. It clarified our unique value proposition.
This is such a crucial, vital distinction that we absolutely must internalize, especially now. We are not, and we likely never will be, truly in competition with AI on its terms for its inherent strengths. It is not about speed. Machines will always be faster at processing data, light speed calculations. It is not about volume. Machines will always produce more content, more calculations, more iterations than any human possibly could.
So trying to beat AI at its own game, speed and volume, is fundamentally a losing proposition.
I believe so. The human premium is something entirely different. It resides in those domains where AI, by its very nature, struggles, or perhaps can't operate at all. It is meaning, it is taste, it is the profound subtlety of judgment, that inexplicable spark of intuition. And critically, it's the moral choice. Navigating those vast, complex gray areas where black and white, rule-based answers simply don't exist or aren't sufficient. These are the irreducible qualities, I think, that define our unique, irreplaceable value.
Okay, let's look at this through the lens of curation, maybe, and significance. These feel like deeply human traits.
Good example.
An AI can paint, 1,000 images in seconds, generating endless visual permutations based on prompts.
Which single one of those 1,000 images is truly worth displaying in a prestigious gallery? Which one genuinely moves a human soul, evokes a visceral emotion, perfectly captures the zeitgeist of a particular moment?
The selection requires something more than just generation.
Exactly. Or an AI can draft 10,000 marketing slogans, playing with every possible combination of words and phrases according to patterns it learned. But which slogan truly resonates with a specific culture, connects with a particular moment in time, strikes a chord with a group of people that evokes not just recognition, but real emotion, action? The raw output can be limitless, yes. But that discerning curation, that profound sense of significance, of why something matters, of what truly connects with the messy, complex human experience that remains uniquely ours.
It's not about the sheer quantity of output, then. It's about the discernment of what truly holds meaning, what holds enduring value, what transcends just being data.
Absolutely. And this points, I believe, very precisely towards a new, maybe more sustainable path to creating wealth and value in this age of AI. It's not found in competing head-to-head with AI's raw processing power or its output volume, but rather in orchestrating it.
Orchestrating AI. Tell me more.
Not in just trying to mimic its output, which, as we've discussed, can quickly lead to that dilution, that commodification, but in shaping its purpose, in guiding its vast capabilities, in imbuing its operations with human intent, human values, human meaning. Think of the elegant metaphor of the conductor leading a grand orchestra.
Okay, yeah.
She plays no instrument herself.
Yeah.
She doesn't generate a single note of sound directly.
Yeah.
Yet her vision, her interpretation, her timing, her leadership, her profound understanding of the score, that's what makes the music possible. It transforms dozens of individual sounds into a cohesive, moving symphony. The human premium in this analogy lies not in being louder or faster or more prolific than any single instrument or even the AI itself, but in knowing why the music matters at all, in providing the direction, the emotion, the purpose that AI, as a powerful but ultimately inert tool, inherently lacks.
That's an incredible, empowering conclusion, actually. AI doesn't have to be the thief of your value, systematically eroding your worth.
Yeah.
On the contrary, it can be the ultimate amplifier of it. If you dare to insist on what only you, as a unique individual with your specific blend of skills, experiences, values, what only you can bring to the table. So this really challenges you, listening right now, to deeply identify and then actively cultivate your unique human premium. What are your irreplaceable qualities? Judgment, intuition, empathy, creative synthesis, moral reasoning, meaning making? What unique perspective do you bring? And then how can you strategically position yourself to conduct the AI, to direct its immense power towards your human-centric goals, rather than just being conducted by its endless algorithms or consumed by its overwhelming output?
It's about consciously choosing to be the master, the visionary, the purpose setter, not merely a servant reacting to the technology or a passive recipient of whatever it turns out. Hashtag, the doorway ahead.
Okay, so we're circling back now, back towards our initial seemingly binary question. Will AI make you money, or will it take it away? After this deep dive, after exploring all these layers, the paradoxes, the silent erosions, the hidden economies, the risks, and importantly, the enduring human premium, we hope you realize that the truest answer, it's not binary at all. It's far more nuanced, more complex, and ultimately, I think, more profound.
Indeed. The profound truth, as I see it, is that AI, in its essence, tends to magnify whatever you already are, or perhaps whatever you choose to become in its presence. If you are passive, if you just drift along without conscious engagement, without critical thought or intentional action, well, AI will inevitably extract from you, whether that's your time, your attention, your data, maybe even your professional relevance over time.
Right. The current just pulls you.
If you are careless, if you wield its immense power without that vigilance we talked about, without understanding its limitations or its potential for amplifying error, it will punish you, potentially turning small mistakes into catastrophic consequences, like we saw with the hedge fund example or the startup's reputation.
Oh, the flip side.
But, and this is really where the empowerment lies, if you are deliberate, if you are discerning, if you are truly awake to both its incredible capabilities and its significant pitfalls. If you understand how to infuse it with your unique human premium, how to orchestrate it towards meaningful goals, then it may very well become your greatest ally, amplifying your unique contributions, expanding your potential exponentially.
Yet the danger of just drifting, of passivity, remains really high, doesn't it? Because AI isn't just a tool you can pick up and put down whenever you feel like it.
No, it's becoming more than that.
It's an environment, a pervasive, inescapable landscape that is actively rewriting the rules beneath our feet every single day, subtly shaping our choices, our interactions, our economy, our society. And here's the unavoidable, maybe uncomfortable, non-negotiable truth. You cannot opt out. You are already inside it, whether you consciously engage with it or not. Your job applications are likely screened by it. Your social media feed is curated by it. Your bank's fraud detection relies on it. Your news is filtered by it.
It's becoming the water we swim in.
Exactly. So the only real question left then is whether you are just drifting with its powerful current, allowing it to pull you wherever its algorithms or the intentions behind them may go, or if you are intentionally, consciously steering within it, charting your own course with purpose, with agency.
Imagine if you were a doorway. It's half open. There's this captivating, almost ethereal light spilling through from the other side. Behind that door, possibility glows brightly. It's inviting you forward, promising untold opportunities for growth, creation, connection. But shadows also stretch long and menacingly from within that same space, hinting at unforeseen costs, hidden risks, potential pitfalls.
And you're standing right there at the threshold, undecided.
Precisely. Will you choose to walk through? To consciously engage, to try and claim what waits the opportunities, the potential for amplifying your unique human value? Or will you hesitate? Will you wait until the door perhaps swings shut, maybe gently, maybe abruptly, potentially locking in valuable wealth in whatever form that truly takes for you on the other side?
And deeper still, there's a haunting truth, maybe, to consider here. What if, upon entering that doorway, upon engaging fully, you discover that the door never truly led to money, at least not just money in the traditional transactional sense? What if it led to something stranger, something far more profound? Your precious time, your finite attention, your very humanity, your capacity for creativity, empathy, meaning transmuted into currency, but primarily for others.
It makes us reflect, doesn't it? AI is not just about making or losing money in a purely financial calculation. It is, perhaps at its core, fundamentally about what kind of wealth you truly seek in this new landscape, and crucially, what you're ultimately willing to trade for it: time, attention, agency, privacy.
So we leave you here, right at this threshold, this doorway into a new era. The door is open, the current is moving, the fire is in your hands. The choice now is yours. Which way will you turn? How will you engage? Hashtag outro. So, considering everything we've talked about today, the silent erosion of value, that hidden economy of attention, and crucially, the enduring human premium, maybe ask yourself this. What singular, irreducible human quality in your life or work? Is it empathy, critical judgment, artistic taste, moral courage, innovative intuition, something else entirely? What is that quality you are committed to actively cultivating and protecting above all else? Knowing that it's the very thing AI cannot replicate, only perhaps amplify if you direct it properly.
It's a profound challenge, isn't it? To move beyond just passively adapting to AI and instead to actively define, cultivate, and insist upon your unique, irreplaceable contribution in this new, very dynamic environment. Will you choose to master the fire, shaping its power towards human ends, or risk being consumed by its unthinking, accelerating force?
Thank you for taking this deep dive with us today. We truly hope this conversation has provided maybe a valuable map or at least some useful signposts for navigating the doorway ahead. We invite you to continue your own thoughtful exploration.
Welcome to a deep dive into a question that's probably been gnawing at you, even if you haven't really said it aloud. We're embarking on an in-depth exploration today into something we're calling AI's dual edge. Wealth creation or silent erosion. And the core question we're grappling with, it's sharp, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of unignorable. Will AI genuinely help you make money? Or will it subtly, maybe even silently, cause you to lose it?
Yeah.
This isn't just about the headlines you skim
Yeah.
or the buzzwords tossed around.
No, it's deeper.
It's about a deep suspicion, I think. A growing sense that AI isn't just a neutral tool anymore.
Right. It feels active.
Exactly. It feels more like this powerful current that doesn't ask permission before it just pulls you into its flow. So we're here today to unpack this, to really get into the nuances of this whole transformative technology.
Indeed. And what's truly fascinating as we, consider this topic is how quickly this fundamental tension just jumps out. It really forces us to look beyond the surface, doesn't it? To ask ourselves, what if the very machine you built to save you becomes the machine that, well, in the long run, ruins you?
Wow, yeah.
And maybe even more pointedly, what if the same key that promises to unlock, immense wealth also simultaneously opens the door to its disappearance?
That's the paradox right there.
Exactly. So we're going to meticulously explore this dual nature of AI. We'll look at its glittering promises of abundance, sure, but also alongside its hidden costs, helping you understand the complex, rapidly shifting landscape that's being rewritten, well, right beneath our feet as we speak. #I, the mirage of wealth.
Okay, let's start where the promise seems brightest.
Yeah.
Right on the dazzling surface of this AI revolution.
The shiny part.
Yeah, the shiny part. Everywhere you turn, financial news, tech blogs, even just casual conversations, you hear these stories, sometimes like astonishing stories about fortunes being made.
Absolutely. It's unavoidable.
It's this really intoxicating narrative, isn't it? AI is the new gold rush.
That's the phrase you hear constantly.
And it doesn't feel like just empty hype. It feels like this pervasive belief. And it's fueled by these concrete, highly visible examples that make it feel incredibly real, tangible.
And attainable. That's the key part. It feels like anyone could grab it.
Right, if you're just quick enough, clever enough. Think about the financial markets for a second. We've seen investors writing AI-driven stocks to, absolutely dizzying heights.
Unbelievable valuations sometimes.
Creating vast sums of wealth in remarkably short periods. Imagine just the sheer acceleration of value in some of these tech sectors.
Yeah, companies with maybe not much else going on, suddenly they slap AI on it.
And boom, their valuation skyrockets. Just because they've attached AI to their name or their product or their business model.
It's become this powerful magnet for capital, hasn't it? Drawing in investment at just an unprecedented pace.
All based on this future potential of AI.
The promise.
But it's not just the huge players on Wall Street, is it? Our observations, they show how countless small creators, entrepreneurs, even individual freelancers are also, rapidly leveraging AI.
Oh yeah, the accessibility is a huge factor now.
They're using automated tools to just flood platforms with content, creating what, on the surface looks like these digital empires almost overnight.
Think about it, blog posts, social media updates, video scripts.
Voiceovers, images, all from a few prompts.
The level of output you can achieve now as just one person or a tiny team, it was unthinkable just, 5 years ago?
Totally unimaginable. It allows for such rapid prototyping, instant scaling. Yeah. It seems like this endless wellspring of material.
Yeah, to keep audiences engaged.
And then, of course, you got the corporations. We're seeing this massive strategic shift, replacing costly human workers with efficient algorithms.
That's the efficiency drive. Customer service chatbots are everywhere now.
Right, handling routine stuff. Or advanced AI analyzing huge data sets for market insights, streamlining complex supply chains, you name it.
And that drive for efficiency, for reduced overhead, well, it translates directly to the bottom line, doesn't it? Increased profit margins.
Which makes AI just irresistible for businesses focused on those numbers.
So the narrative kind of crystallizes. AI is the primary driver, maybe the only driver, of this new wealth, this endless fount of prosperity just waiting to be tapped.
And the whisper of AI itself. It's so seductive, isn't it? It speaks right to that desire for efficiency, for impact. It's like it's saying, I can do in seconds what you once spent years perfecting.
I am leverage incarnate.
I am acceleration itself. That's the irresistible lure, right? That whisper telling you that you too can tap into this immense power.
Yeah, multiply your efforts, your wealth, your creativity.
It's far beyond what old methods allowed. More, faster, less effort. It seems like the ultimate tool for enrichment. Personal, corporate, everything. A shortcut to success.
And here's the crucial but. Before we get too swept up in that, intoxicating vision, let's just pause for a second. Doesn't every mirage shimmer most beautifully just before it vanishes?
Oof. Yeah, that's a good question.
It's a crucial question because this whole gold rush idea, it holds this profound paradox right at its heart. The very power of AI, its incredible ability to generate, automate, accelerate output, it can inadvertently undermine the very value it creates.
So the thing that makes it valuable also makes it less valuable.
In a way, yes. That initial advantage, that exciting edge you think you've gained, it can prove to be incredibly fleeting. It can dissolve almost as quickly as it appears. We see this playing out really vividly in what we've started calling the trader's dilemma.
Okay, tell me about that.
Imagine a really savvy financial trader, someone right on the cutting edge. They integrate a sophisticated AI model trained specifically to read market sentiment.
Okay, so it's analyzing news, social media, reports.
Everything. Massive volumes of data, way beyond human capacity, in minutes, predicting crop yields from satellite images, that kind of thing.
Right. So initially that's a huge edge.
Undeniable. Our trader executes trades that decisively outpace rivals, multiplying wealth at the speed of code. It feels like the perfect use case for AI wealth creation.
Sounds great. So where's the paradox?
Well, it emerges pretty quickly, often with a kind of cruel twist. What happens when everyone else starts to catch on?
Right, competition.
Exactly. The trader soon discovers competitors using not just similar, but often identical algorithms or equally powerful AI tools.
So the advantage disappears.
Worse than that, it doesn't lead to a more stable market or more predictable gains. Quite the contrary. What we often see is each advantage just canceling out the others. As more and more players adopt similar AI strategies, the market, far from becoming more rational, often becomes more unpredictable.
More volatile. Flash crashes.
Exactly. More prone to those sudden swings, the initial edge, that unique insight, it just dissolves as the technology becomes common. It turns into this constant, exhausting race for the next equally fleeting advantage.
Okay, I see the dilemma there. It's a technological arms race.
Precisely. And we see a strikingly similar thing happening in the realm of creative output. We call this one the entrepreneur's flood.
Okay, the flood. What's that?
Think about an ambitious entrepreneur. They use AI's invisible labor, as we call it, to quickly spin up a digital empire.
Like those ebooks, videos, chatbots you mentioned earlier?
Exactly. A ton of ebooks in popular niches, loads of video content for different platforms, maybe an army of AI chatbots for instant customer service 24/7. The promise here is that this business scales incredibly fast, not in months or years, but potentially in days, thanks to AI speed and efficiency.
That sounds like the dream for a startup, right? Rapid market entry, massive scaling.
It seems like it, an unprecedented competitive advantage.
Yeah.
The entrepreneur soon faces what we describe as an ocean of identical AI-generated products.
The flood. Too much stuff.
Exactly. The market becomes oversaturated with content and services that, they're efficiently produced, they look polished on the surface, but they lack genuine differentiation. When 1,000 authors can generate 1,000 self-help books in a week.
Or 1 million artists can create 1 million digital images instantly.
The gold rush doesn't just dissolve. It turns into what you can only really describe as a landfill of sameness.
Wow. Landfill of sameness, that's bleak.
It is. The sheer volume of output diminishes the perceived value of any individual piece or service. Why would you pay a premium when there are countless alternatives, equally good enough, flooding the market for free or next to nothing?
So when everything is easy to create,
the act of creation itself loses its premium, and with it, much of its economic value. So the core insight here is really critical. AI creates wealth, yes, but in creating too much, too easily, it inadvertently dilutes its own value.
The abundance undermines the scarcity. basic economics.
Exactly. Scarcity is often a key driver of value. So this perceived edge you thought you had, it can be incredibly fleeting, almost an illusion itself. That initial burst of profitability, it might just be the first shimmer of that mirage before it completely vanishes.
That's a powerful point. It really makes you question the whole idea of sustainable advantage in this new landscape. So the crucial question for us, for you listening right now, is what does this actually mean for your potential edge? Are you building something truly sustainable, something unique, genuinely hard to replicate, resilient to this rapid commodification? Or are you maybe just chasing a vanishing mirage, a temporary boost that's going to be quickly replicated and diluted by the very tech that promised to empower you?
It forces you to think long-term, beyond the immediate gains. What's the real lasting value? Hashtag to the silent erosion.
Okay, that brings us to a pretty stark realization then. If wealth isn't always gained in these sudden windfalls, it's also maybe not always lost in dramatic thefts or big crashes.
Right. Not always spectacular.
Sometimes money just disappears quietly, slowly, like sand slipping through your fingers. And this is where it gets really interesting, maybe a little unsettling too, because AI seems to have this profound way of eroding value without any spectacle.
It's not a sudden shock. It's more like this creeping realization that something fundamental has shifted almost without you noticing.
Yeah, beneath your feet.
Exactly. And it raises an important question for us to think about. We tend to fixate on the big, visible shifts, right? The dramatic market moves, the big tech breakthroughs that grab the headlines.
Here, that's what gets reported.
But AI's impact on value can be far more subtle, insidious even. It really does creep. It infiltrates established professions and just gradually diminishes the worth of human skills. We're witnessing this quiet subtraction of human value playing out across various sectors, often without people realizing it until the ground has already shifted significantly.
Okay, so give us some examples. How does this actually look?
Let's consider the professional translator. Once, she was prized not just for knowing the language, but for the nuance, right? The deep understanding of cultural context, the subtle art of conveying meaning and tone beyond just literal words.
Yeah, the artistry of it.
Yeah, exactly. Now, her rates might be halved, sometimes even cut more drastically, when clients discover that AI translation, okay, maybe it's not perfect, but it's good enough for a lot of their needs.
Like a business memo, internal documents.
Right. General web pages. The perceived value of her unique human touch, her years of expertise, it's instantly devalued by this automated, significantly cheaper alternative.
And it's not about the AI being better, is it?
But
it's just sufficient.
It's about it being sufficiently competent to disrupt the whole economic model for that skill.
Okay, what else?
Or take the copywriter. A professional who used to be indispensable for crafting compelling marketing messages. Now they might notice contracts shrinking, then maybe disappearing entirely. The demand for human-crafted marketing copy, which used to be a staple for almost every business.
It's waning because companies can use AI to generate tons of options faster.
Yeah, A/B test ad variations instantly, produce huge volumes of content at a fraction of the cost. The needed for a human to painstakingly craft every headline, every call to action, it diminishes.
Fewer opportunities, lower pay.
And just this intense market pressure for those still doing it. What once required real skill and creativity is becoming a commoditized service.
Oh, okay.
And maybe one of the most striking, almost dystopian examples involves the teacher who records video lessons.
Right. They might do that thinking it's innovative, reaching more students, maybe an online course.
Initially, yeah. But now we're seeing scenarios where her likeness, her actual image, her unique teaching style, her voice, her whole pedagogical approach can be repurposed by generative AI.
Like deepfake technology.
Exactly. Cloning her image and voice, creating an AI avatar that teaches without sleep, without salary, without needing breaks or benefits.
So her original effort, her IP,
can be digitized and deployed indefinitely, completely severing the link between her labor and the ongoing value it provides. In the long run, it basically renders her original human effort almost worthless.
Turning her into a ghost in her own digital creation.
Right.
That's unsettling.
It is. And each of these instances, it's not a dramatic theft, is it? Not a direct financial robbery. It's a quiet subtraction. The inherent value of human craft, that unique blend of skill, experience, intuition, creativity, that defines a professional, it's just shaved down inch by inch, slowly but surely. until the professional wakes up one day and finds her labor priced at near zero.
That's what you call the hollowing of uniqueness.
Exactly, where the distinct qualities that once commanded a premium are just slowly, inexorably eroded by AI's ability to replicate them, or at least approximate them at scale.
Again, not perfect replication, but sufficient replication.
Sufficient to impact the market dynamics. And the insidious nature of this erosion is how it often starts. It often feels like a great opportunity.
Yeah, faster productivity, more output, less drudgery.
Freeing up time for more important tasks. People initially grab these AI tools to streamline their work, genuinely believing they're gaining an edge, becoming more efficient, enhancing their creativity.
Makes sense.
But underneath that initial feeling of progress, the hidden cost accumulates. The loss of bargaining power, the hollowing of uniqueness, a growing dependency on tools that ultimately diminish their individual market value.
So it might get more productive, sure.
But your individual distinct contribution becomes less essential and therefore less valuable in the marketplace.
That's a chilling thought. So when AI promises to save you time, we really need to ask, whose time is really being saved?
Precisely.
Is it truly empowering the individual worker, giving them more autonomy, higher value?
Or is it primarily a tool for companies to cut labor costs and boost their bottom line, maybe at the direct expense of human jobs and wages?
It makes you really consider who the true beneficiary is. And this isn't entirely new ground, is it? We've seen this before in history.
Oh, absolutely. This isn't the first rodeo for automation impacting labor. When we look at the larger canvas of history, we find striking, often painful parallels. Well, think about the mechanical loom during the Industrial Revolution, a marvel of innovation, right? Made textiles abundant, clothes way more affordable for everyone.
Right, sounds like progress.
But in doing so, it rendered master weavers, these artisans who had honed incredibly intricate skills over decades, largely redundant.
Their skills couldn't compete with the machine's speed and cost.
Exactly. Their artistic skills, years of practice, just couldn't match the speed, the uniformity, the cost efficiency of the loom. The huge wealth created in textiles came at a massive human cost, dismantling a whole class of skilled artisans and their communities.
Right, and the printing press.
Similar story, different technology. The printing press democratized knowledge, ushered in widespread literacy, fundamentally transformed society. Amazing benefits.
Right.
But it also caused scribes, who meticulously copied text by hand, to lose their livelihood. Their invaluable skill, once central to preserving and spreading knowledge, was suddenly devalued by a machine that could replicate pages exponentially faster and cheaper.
So each revolution promises wealth, but extracts a toll.
Exactly, and tragically, often from those least prepared to bear it. It's this recurring pattern. New abundance in one area creates scarcity or even obsolescence in another.
Okay, so bringing that historical perspective to now.
It leads us to a pretty stark warning, one we should all really heed right now. AI doesn't only create millionaires, it manufactures redundancy. It makes professions porous, eroding their stability, their distinctiveness. It extracts the very floorboards beneath your feet, quietly, persistently, while often distracting you with the shimmering, seductive shine of possibility.
And you're saying this isn't some future prediction, it's happening now.
It's a profound restructuring of the labor market that is happening right now. Skills that once guaranteed a stable career are increasingly vulnerable. And that perceived possibility of AI can, unfortunately, blind us to these fundamental tectonic shifts happening right under us. #3, the edge that cuts both ways.
And yet, you still feel that pull, don't you? That persistent, almost primal instinct that says, okay, but if I'm clever enough, if I'm fast enough, if I just understand this tech better than the next person, I can ride this wave.
The temptation is strong.
You find yourself wondering, maybe the losers are just the ones clinging to old ways, while you, armed with vision, with foresight, you can capture AI's bounty before it disappears.
It's that feeling of wanting to be on the cutting edge, mastering the new tools.
Believing your ingenuity, your adaptability will shield you from the downsides others might face. It's a very human response, isn't it? Very entrepreneurial.
It is, and that instinct, that drive, it isn't entirely wrong. AI is leverage, unprecedented leverage, and leverage has always multiplied both gains and losses. It gives you this incredible ability to amplify effort, resources, impact on a scale we've just never seen before.
Right, amplification.
But what's truly fascinating and maybe often overlooked is that leverage is power without forgiveness.
Ooh, say more about that. Power without forgiveness.
Well, the very force that can lift you to dizzying heights, right? Propel you towards exponential growth, massive success. That same force can also, with terrifying speed, plunge you into catastrophic depths.
Because it amplifies everything, good and bad.
Precisely because of its immense amplifying capacity. The margin for error, when you're wielding that kind of power, it shrinks dramatically. It demands a level of precision, of foresight, that's often really hard to maintain consistently.
Okay, so let's talk about that compounding effect of speed and error.
Right. Our understanding really highlights this. Take the example of a sophisticated hedge fund. They decide to automate their entire research pipeline, their trading execution, everything.
Using AI to analyze complex data, spot trends, trade in milliseconds.
Exactly. And they could, realistically, triple their profits in a single quarter. That's the promise of leverage at its most exhilarating, incredible speed, leading to exponential gains.
The clever and the fast really can reap huge rewards.
They absolutely can, initially. However, the flip side of that speed is just as potent and far more dangerous. In the very next quarter, that same hedge fund could experience devastating losses.
Oh.
Imagine just a subtle flaw in the algorithm, a misinterpretation of some new market variable, an unforeseen feedback loop that starts to cascade.
The speed works against them.
That same speed that compounded fortune now compounds error with devastating efficiency. A small miscalculation, an overlooked bias in the training data, maybe an unexpected geopolitical event. It gets amplified instantly across thousands, maybe millions of automated decisions, leading to losses that would have been impossible or at least much, much slower to rack up in a purely human-driven system. The speed that creates wealth can, just like that, utterly obliterate it.
Wow. Okay, that's a sobering example.
Well, think about the ambitious startup founder. Let's say they decide to automate a big chunk of their customer engagement using AI.
Chatbots handling inquiries, personalized marketing messages going out automatically.
Exactly. Initially, they see this incredible surge in growth. The AI handles millions of inquiries instantly. Personalized messages hit millions of potential customers. The company looks infinitely scalable, running with minimal human oversight.
That immediate boost in efficiency, reach, responsiveness. It's a powerful draw for any entrepreneur. Rapid market penetration.
Definitely. But then imagine a single, seemingly minor AI misstep.
Like what?
Maybe the AI generates tone-deaf responses to sensitive customer complaints. Or its algorithms, without anyone realizing, introduce biased interactions that alienate a key demographic group.
Oh dear.
Suddenly, this single misstep sparks a public backlash that spreads like wildfire. Social media, news outlets, the very automation that created scale now distributes the errors and alienates customers at an exponentially greater speed and reach.
So a company's reputation, built over months or years,
can collapse overnight.
Yeah.
The speed and omnipresence of AI mean mistakes aren't just made. They're amplified and broadcast globally, causing irreparable damage to brand trust, customer loyalty, far faster than any human error ever could.
That really highlights the no forgiveness aspect of leverage.
It does. And this whole dynamic brings to mind that powerful analogy from Greek mythology, Prometheus gifting fire to mankind.
Right. Fire was transformative. Cooking, tools, warmth, protection.
Immense benefits. It cooked food, made nutrients more accessible, expanded diets, forged tools, weapons, accelerated tech progress, provided protection, warmed homes, let humans thrive in new climates. It was, without doubt, a catalyst for civilization.
A huge leap forward.
But, as the analogy vividly shows, fire also burned villages, consumed forests, destroyed civilizations. Its destructive potential was always, always inextricably linked to its creative power.
You couldn't have one without the risk of the other.
Exactly. Fire, in its raw form, is a force that demands profound respect and incredibly careful handling, not just unquestioning gratitude for its benefits. And AI, too, is fire. Its gift is undeniably double-edged. It demands not just our appreciation for its incredible capabilities, but also unwavering vigilance in how we use it.
It's a force to be understood in its totality, not just the shiny parts.
Precisely. So, the crucial question for you, the listener, becomes this. Are you truly wielding this fire? Are you consciously understanding its destructive potential just as much as its creative power? Are you carefully managing its immense force?
Or is the fire, in fact, wielding you?
Yeah, carrying you along without your full awareness of the dangers lurking in its unbridled power. It's a profound call for conscious engagement, isn't it? For critical thinking, not just passive adoption of the latest cool tech. #FEV, the hidden economy of attention.
Okay, let's pivot now. Let's move away from the traditional ideas of money, financial wealth, because money, especially in this rapidly evolving digital world, it's definitely not the only currency that matters.
That's a really important shift in focus.
In truth, the deeper game AI seems to be playing, the one that might already be impacting you most profoundly, is with something else entirely. What's truly fascinating here, and maybe a bit unsettling, is that AI might already be draining something far costlier than your bank account.
Something you can't get back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Something far more precious and utterly non-renewable, your attention.
Yeah.
We often think of wealth in dollars and cents, tangible stuff, but this goes way beyond that.
You've really hit on a critical point there. When we truly connect this to the bigger picture, a really compelling argument emerges. The deeper game AI plays is fundamentally with attention. And this isn't just about, simple distractions. It's about a deliberate, systematic redirection of our most finite and irreplaceable resource.
Okay, explain that. How does that work?
Well, think for a moment about recommendation algorithms, those invisible conductors that meticulously curate your social media feeds, right?
Suggesting the next video to watch filling your shopping cart.
Exactly. They don't explicitly ask for coins, do they? No direct payment from you. But what they do get is far more valuable to their creators. They subtly siphon hours from your life.
One click, one scroll, one video at a time.
And these siphoned hours, these precious minutes of your conscious life, they're then seamlessly converted into valuable commodities.
Like what?
Into targeted ads, into measurable influence, and ultimately into profit, but almost exclusively for someone else.
So you spend time engaging. That creates data.
And that data is meticulously monetized. Through advertising highly targeted campaigns, or by subtly shaping your preferences and behaviors in ways that directly benefit the platform or the content creator or their commercial partners. The profound shift is you're not paying them with money. You're giving them your time, your focus, your mental energy.
Which they turn into their tangible currency.
Exactly. And the insidious nature of this whole extraction lies in what we're calling the treacherous question. What is your time worth?
Because in the moment, it never feels urgent, does it?
Never. You tell yourself, oh, it's just 5 more minutes scrolling, or just one more video, or just one more click. It feels like a minor indulgence, right? A momentary break, harmless, easily justifiable.
The effort of deciding to stop feels bigger than the cost of just continuing.
Right. The cognitive load feels negligible, yet those seemingly insignificant minutes, they accumulate into hours, days, weeks.
Into years. The cumulative effect is staggering when you think about it.
Absolutely staggering. Imagine the years collectively that evaporate into these digital currents, this constant stream of AI-curated content. And the critical point here is stark. The true wealth, the only wealth you cannot regenerate, the only resource that is truly finite, is stolen in silence.
Unlike money, you can't earn back lost time. Once it's spent, it's gone forever.
Gone forever, which makes it incredibly precious, incredibly finite. And AI, in its current form, is highly, highly adept at extracting it, often without our full conscious consent.
Okay, so how does this play out in a real scenario?
Let's delve into this idea of the harvested entrepreneur. Think about an entrepreneur, someone driven by definition to build, create, generate tangible value, innovate.
Right, their goal is to make something new.
But this individual ends up spending their waking hours just entranced by the latest AI tools, caught up in a cycle of learning about AI, experimenting with prompts, consuming endless content generated by AI or about AI.
But never actually building anything tangible of their own.
Exactly. They might be endlessly optimizing their prompt engineering skills, exploring new AI art generators, deep diving into the latest machine learning papers. They're consumed by the tools. Perpetually learning, yes, but not actually using them to produce a product, a service, a business that brings their unique vision to life.
So the question is, has he gained or has he been harvested?
That's the question. In that scenario, his potential, his invaluable focus, his irreplaceable time, they're being consumed and monetized by the very ecosystem he thought would empower him to create. He's feeding the beast with his most precious assets rather than using the beast to forge his own path.
Wow. That forces a real redefinition of profit, doesn't it?
It really does. We instinctively measure profit in dollars, right? Tangible financial gains. But perhaps, just perhaps, we should measure it in hours.
If you're spending countless hours engaging with platforms or tools that ultimately only benefit others financially.
Siphoning your attention and time, then your personal profit in terms of your most valuable non-renewable asset is deeply, alarmingly negative.
That completely shifts the accounting of personal value and productivity.
It does. And it leads us to this profound core insight. For if AI consumes your time while making money for others, then you are not the customer.
You are the product.
You are the product. It's a profound, often uncomfortable shift in perspective, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It completely reframes our relationship with so many of these AI-driven services. It urges us to be hyper-aware of where our attention is truly going and who genuinely benefits from capturing it.
If your attention is the commodity being traded, then your time, your focus, you're the raw material in that exchange.
Yeah.
#V, the human premium.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's turn from this rather stark picture towards hope. Lest the path seem only like ruin.
We need that balance.
Because in every age of automation, looking back through history, something inherently human has always remained irreducible, right? Something machines, no matter how advanced, just can't replicate or replace.
That's been the pattern, yes.
The mechanical loom didn't extinguish fashion, did it? Or human desire for beauty. It just changed how fashion was made and consumed.
Right. The printing press didn't end storytelling.
No. It democratized it, amplified it, let it reach more minds than ever. The camera didn't abolish painting.
It pushed painting into new realms. Abstraction, inner vision.
Exactly. So what then is our unique, irreducible value in this age of AI? What's that fundamental human core that AI cannot touch?
That is precisely the right question to be asking now. What's truly fascinating and strategically vital, really, is that instead of frantically trying to compete with AI on its own terms, trying to be faster, produce more, process more data,
Which we already established is a losing game.
it is. Instead, we should be asking, what then is the human premium in the age of AI? This question directs us towards our inherent non-replicable strengths, to the qualities that truly set us apart and will remain invaluable.
Okay, so what are they? It's definitely not speed.
Definitely not speed. Machines will always be exponentially faster. AI processes info, generates text, calculates, analyzes data at speeds way beyond us. Trying to beat AI at speed, forget it.
And not volume either.
Not volume. Machines will always produce more. AI can churn out millions of image variations, endless paragraphs, infinite data points effortlessly, competing on sheer output. Equally futile, leads straight back to that landfill of sameness.
Okay, so if not speed or volume, what is it?
Instead, the unique premium we offer, the irreplaceable qualities, they lie in what only we can bring. It is meaning, it is taste, it is the subtlety of judgment, the spark of intuition, and the profound, often difficult moral choice in the gray areas of life.
The qualitative stuff, the subjective.
Exactly. These deeply human aspects that, at their core, remain beyond the current and, frankly, the foreseeable capabilities of AI. AI can process syntax, sure, but it can't truly comprehend the nuanced depths of human experience or imbue a concept with genuine felt meaning.
It can optimize based on data, but it doesn't have inherent taste or aesthetic appreciation.
Right. It can follow rules for judgment, but it profoundly lacks that nuanced, contextual, often emotionally driven moral intuition that defines human ethical decision-making.
Okay, give us an illustration, like the artist example.
Perfect example. Consider the AI artist versus the human curator. An AI can paint 1,000 images, generate an endless stream of visuals, maybe astonishingly beautiful, technically proficient ones, in any style you want.
Okay, lots of output.
But the human decides which one is worth displaying, which one truly resonates, which one captures a cultural moment or evokes a profound emotional response.
The AI creates, but the human assigns significance.
Exactly. The AI can't intrinsically imbue a piece with significance, can't connect it to a collective human experience, can't declare it art in the same way a human curator steeped in culture and context can. The real value isn't just creation. It's selection, interpretation, assigning profound meaning.
Okay, and the slogan example.
Similar idea. An AI can draft 10,000 slogans, produce vast quantities of marketing copy tailored to demographics, optimized for clicks and conversions.
Very efficient.
But the human determines which one truly resonates with the culture, captures the zeitgeist of a moment, or deeply connects with people on an emotional level.
AI optimizes for keywords, maybe emotional triggers based on data.
But it fundamentally lacks that deep intuitive understanding of collective consciousness, history, evolving social norms, shared human dreams. The stuff that allows a human to craft a slogan that hits differently, connects viscerally, emotionally, beyond just data points.
So this act of curation, that sense of significance, discerning what matters, what's beautiful, what's meaningful, that remains uniquely ours.
It's uniquely human, the ability to discern, interpret, assign value, understand impact, make qualitative judgments. It's about prioritizing quality over quantity, depth over breadth, authentic resonance over mere generation.
Okay, so if that's our premium, how do we leverage it?
Well, the most promising path to wealth, to enduring value for humans, might not be in directly competing with AI at all, but rather in orchestrating it.
Orchestrating it.
It's not about mimicking its output, but about shaping its purpose, directing its power towards human-defined goals and values. Instead of trying to do what AI does, we should focus on becoming the strategic visionaries, the ones who decide what needs to be created, why it matters, and how AI can best be used as a tool to achieve those higher-order objectives.
Like being the director of the Digital Symphony.
That's a great way to put it. The perfect analogy is the conductor before the orchestra.
Right, she plays no instrument herself.
Doesn't saw a single violin string, doesn't strike a single drum, yet her vision, her interpretation of the score, her ability to lead, synchronize, harmonize all these diverse elements, that's what makes the music possible.
So the human premium lies not in being louder or faster,
but in knowing why the music matters at all.
Wow.
So the truly crucial question for you, for all of us, is, what do you bring that AI simply cannot? What is that unique, irreducible contribution you make to the human experience?
And thinking about that offers a really profound and actually quite empowering possibility.
It really does. AI does not have to be the thief of your value. It can, in fact, be the magnificent amplifier of it.
Yes.
If you dare to insist on, to cultivate, and to bravely deploy what only you as a human can uniquely bring. It suggests that by focusing on our truly human strengths, on those irreducible qualities, we can transform AI from this perceived threat into an incredibly powerful ally, enhancing our distinct contributions rather than rendering them obsolete.
It's an empowering perspective, definitely. But it demands real self-awareness, doesn't it? Intentionality. A courageous commitment to our unique humanity.
Absolutely. It's not passive. Hashtag, outro.
So we'd circle back to our original question. Will AI genuinely help you make money, or will it subtly, perhaps silently, take it away? Our deep dive into this profound observations has shown us it's really far from a simple binary answer, isn't it?
Not at all. The reality is much more complex, much more nuanced than the headlines might ever suggest. It's not a clear win or loss. It's this dynamic, constantly shifting interplay of forces.
Okay, so if you had to boil it down.
Well, if we connect all these threads back to the bigger picture, I think the truest, most vital answer is this. AI magnifies whatever you already are.
Okay. Magnifies what you already are. That's crucial.
It's a foundational takeaway. It's not some neutral force acting on everyone the same way. Its impact is highly individualized. It profoundly depends on your approach, your mindset, your level of conscious engagement.
But if you're passive.
If you are passive, if you just drift along, let the current carry you, AI will inevitably extract from you, whether that's your precious attention, your irreplaceable time, or, potentially your financial resources too. AI systems are just optimized to extract value from passivity.
And if you're careless,
if you're not discerning and not vigilant, it will punish you. Like we saw with those leverage examples, the errors, the missteps. AI's speed and scale can magnify negative outcomes just as easily, just as devastatingly as positive ones. Lack of vigilance, a critical oversight, failure of critical thinking, it can lead to swift and significant losses.
Flip side.
However, if you are deliberate, if you are discerning, if you are truly awake, if you bring that unique human premium we talked about, meaning taste, judgment, intuition, then AI may indeed become your greatest ally.
So for those who actively engage, understand it, intentionally direct its power
towards human-centric goals, yes. Then it transforms into this incredibly potent tool for amplification, for creation, for enhancing rather than eroding your value.
Okay, so that raises this really essential pressing question then. AI isn't just a tool, is it? Something you pick up, use, put down?
No, not at all. It's better understood as an environment, a new, pervasive landscape that is fundamentally rewriting the rules beneath our feet every single day.
That analogy feels critical. It's an environment.
It is, and you don't get to choose whether or not to participate in this environment. You can't just opt out.
You're already in it.
You are, in every meaningful sense, already inside it. Every online interaction, every piece of digital content you consume or create, every automated system around you, it's all part of this AI-driven landscape. So the only real question then is whether you are passively drifting with its powerful current or consciously, deliberately steering within it.
Okay. Imagine a door then, standing half open right in front of you. There's brilliant light spilling through the gap, but also these long, unsettling shadows stretching out behind it.
A powerful image.
You're standing right there at the threshold, maybe undecided.
Yeah.
On one side, that alluring promise of abundance, right? Unprecedented wealth, amplified human potential.
Yeah, the bright side.
But on the other side, that looming threat of silent erosion, your value quietly diminishing, your most precious resources, like attention, being siphoned away. Will you walk through? Boldly claim what waits, master the tools, steers your own destiny?
Whoa.
Or will you hesitate, paralyzed by the uncertainty maybe, until the door just swings shut, locking wealth, or maybe just opportunity itself forever out of reach?
That's the choice point.
And maybe deeper still, what if, upon finally entering, you discover that the door never truly led to money at all? What if it led to something stranger, something far more profound? Your time, your attention, your uniquely human creativity, your very humanity itself,
Yeah.
transmuted into currency for others.
That's the haunting truth we've kind of uncovered here, isn't it?
It is. AI is not just about making or losing money in a purely transactional sense. It is about what kind of wealth you truly seek, what you genuinely value in this new world, and ultimately what you are willing to trade for it in this rapidly evolving landscape.
Yeah, what's the real price?
So I leave you here at the threshold. The door is open, the current is moving, the fire is in your hands. Which way will you turn?
If you enjoy this video, please like, share, subscribe and hit the bell to the later update from my channel. Thank you for watching till the end and see you in the next video.